Hi everyone, welcome to Coding with WESPY. I'm WESPY, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on Python data types. However, just to keep this video very simple and very short so you can gather as much knowledge as possible, I'm going to be doing just numeric data types for today. The next video we'll be doing strings, so hold out a little bit and we'll get there. I figure it's just easier for everybody. So first, I want to talk about declaring a variable, which is, think of like when you were in math class when you were a kid and you had algebra, and when you would have a variable like x. So we're gonna have that same kind of ordeal here when I'm talking about variables in Python. In coding, it's the same thing, right? So we're going to declare this variable x, and it's going to equal a number, and we're going to say it's 46. Okay, so we've declared the variable x, and we've used the equal operator to initialize it with a value. Okay, so just keep that exact way I said that in your mind, so when you're thinking about variables, like you understand when someone says, "Oh, initialize a variable," like you understand what someone's saying, right? So you can understand the speak. And this value right here is an integer. Okay, so that means, in the simplest way put, it's a whole number. Okay, there's no decimal, there's no fractional number, there's nothing. And so next we have y, which is going to equal 32.7 or 322.7, I guess it is. And so as you can see, that has the point, it's a decimal, it's a fractional number, it's a precise number, like pi, right? Like pi would be represented as a float, not as an integer. So that's a good way to keep that in mind. So when we have these numbers, the next question is, like, what can we do with these numbers, right? Like, okay, great, WestPy, you gave us some numbers. Like, okay, what did that do for me? Well, we'll get to this. Okay, so we're gonna do some math, right? So you can see like what you can do. So with Python, there's operators, right? So like I said, the equal operator, it's assigning a value to the variable. So what we can do is and what we're going to actually, well, okay, we'll go into that, but x plus y, right? Like, so what is that going to equal? Well, we could do the math in our head, or like we could do this. Like, we could use the print function with x plus y, and you can space this out, or you can, makes no difference there. And you can actually get the value in the idle, and it'll actually print out that value. Like, it'll show you the value in the actual IDE, or the shell, the terminal, whatever way you want to look at it. It'll actually display that value. And so this print function, along with these types of data, will be very important, very, very important. So, and that's, you're going to be using this print function a lot, so get comfortable, get cozy, like Jody, and we're going to get crack-a-lacking here. So we're going to print x, and we're going to divide by y, right? Like, and then we're going to also again use the print function, and we're going to do some exponentation, right? Get a little crazy here. X by y, right? X to the power of y. We're going to also get, we're going to do x, we're going to do y minus x, because we're cool like that, right? And like I said, you can do it either way. And let's see, we're going to use the integer division and the modulo operators. Okay, so the x, and you're going to use 2 / y. So what that's going to do is give us the closest value that is possible to this division. And so actually what we're going to do is we're going to create a new integer x2, and we're going to initialize it with the value 89. And just so, like I said in the beginning here, that floats will always overtake integers. It's going to upcast it, which means it's going to change the type of the variable. So instead here, we're not going to do any of that changing stuff. Like, we're just going to keep it exactly the way it is, but we're still going to get the closest value, because clearly x does not divide into 89 very well. So we'll find out what that's going to be. And then so finally we have modulo, okay? And so what this is going to do is it's going to give you the remainder of the values. So we're going to do x2 modulo y, right? Like so, like that, okay? So that's right there. We're gonna run this here little script, and we're gonna get some values. X to the power of y, overflow, result too large. Okay, so what I think we actually did here is we actually caused an overflow error, like a stack overflow. Ha ha ha. No, actually, yeah, no, that's really what happened. So this is interesting because I didn't intend for that to happen, but that's kind of good because you'll be able to see what errors look like. And what it's telling you here is that pretty much this number, like what we're trying to do here, is just too excessive. Like, it's not allowed. It's out of the range of what's acceptable with floats and integers, or floats. So what we need to do here is we need to like calm this number down a little bit. So let's try that, right? Like, we caused an overflow. What about that? Look at that, okay? So that's a lot better. And actually, what we ended up with here, okay? So this is another element of Python that is interesting. And so this is scientific notation, okay? So scientific notation, very large, or very small numbers, it will compress it down to, you know, this e to the 54th power. Like, it's a lot. Like, it's a really big number. Like, it's gonna go on like way over here. Okay, so it's too much, right? So Python's like, guys, like, we're gonna keep this simple. So that's what happened there, right? And as you can see, you know, it really pushed things as far as it could, right? Like, and let's try to get this here. What do we got going on? We got the let's see, x2 x. Maybe that's what we want, right? Like, yeah. So it gave us the closest it could to what's available. Like, it's saying that this really can only divide in like one time, and that's about it. Like, it's really close. So that's why you're getting that right there. So now, like, if you want to assign like a new the variable with a new thing, so you could do x equals y, like, and then you could print x, right? Like, so that and that. So y is 32.7, x now equals y. Like, we changed it, right? So that's one of those cool things. Also mathematics, right? So you can use parentheses as well. Like, you can print x, like x and x plus y, because this would like break the order of operations, right? Like, so and there you go. So, and you can just say exactly what way you want that to go, and there we go. We get some output. And so that's really the basics of integers and floats. I'm trying to think here what else you might need to know with numbers. I could show you something a little bit interesting, which is, not something you really need to worry about right now. But I told you that there is like pi would be represented as a a float. So there you go. And that's a constant value. So you could see exactly like what I meant by when you look at Python as a whole, that there's certain values that must be floats and certain values which must be integers. Or we could also from math import e, which is Euler's constant, and so right there, so you can get access to those mathematical elements that you need to do what you need to do. So pretty much from here, if you have more questions or you're kind of confused about like what you can do with Python, I mean, there's way more that we're going to get into. Next, we're going to be doing strings, which I personally find is a little more fun. So, and I'll be showing you some different techniques that you have available there. Right now, though, we're at a very, very basic level, just assigning variables with numbers, being able to print them out, get some data back. And I think that's a really good place to leave off. So if you have any more questions, then leave them in the comments. Make sure you like and you subscribe, and have a great day coding, and I'll see you in the next one.